Hello friends, welcome to Salesforce Cinematics video session 137. So basically in today's video, we will actually understand about the formatting options which are available for stacked column chart. Okay. So more or less, if some things are same, I won't maybe repeat, I will just walk through, but maybe we'll cover something if it is different, which we didn't cover. For example, the conditional formatting, okay, which we will cover today as well. So if I just go to Analytics Studio and if I go to the data manager, sorry, not data manager. What I will do is I will simultaneously open the formatting options which we already did. Okay, and probably I can duplicate this tab. Fine, and I will create a new lens today and formatting options of stacked column chart. So I will again open this account of left join, and what I will do is I will very quickly select stacked column. Okay, which is fine. Now, after selecting that, of course, for stacked column, you need this bar segment. So firstly, let me select something from the bar segment. Maybe I can go for stage. Fine, as you can see here, and under bars, maybe I can go for industry. Okay. So this is how the stacked column is appearing for me. Okay, which is cool. And here, like if I go to formatting now, so here we have all these things. So I can just take the reference of that one, stacked column chart. I'm not giving the subtitles and all those things as of now, okay, because these things are always the same as we already I've walked through many times. Now let's understand, like here also, if you see, it's more or less the same what we have seen, the normalized value and all these things, what we have seen over there, it's the same thing over here. So yeah, what I will do is I won't walk through all these things right now. Here, the Yeah. Here, basically the axis left and all, this is also something we have walked through the reference line. Okay, here as we have understood the reference line, like here, the reference line, we understood the reference line concept already in the bar and column, not an issue. Title auto, I think this is all something as well. Okay, so legends and all, we already know this part. So tooltip, I think we will walk through this as well. Okay, trellis, I think I have shown the trellis point properly, in all our previous video, and I have also shown you how this chart marker works as well. Okay, what I will do is basically I will just jump to that conditional formatting very quickly and show you how this conditional formatting basically works. Okay, so for example, you have all these things. Let's say I want to go for something. Let's say, let me go for stage only. Okay, so if I go for stage, I will pick the values from here. Let's say I go for closed lost. Okay, I'm clicking on done. And here, let's say I want the colors. Right now it's showing us blue. Maybe I can go for something like red. Okay, let's say I want to go for red. That's what the closed stage will be for me. Okay, the closed one, maybe what I can do is I can go for a complete green value. Okay, something like let's say this one. Okay, so I want a complete green value for closed loss. Okay, and that's how it's showing up for me. Okay, so that's the thing about this one. And maybe for others, like for example, you have a qualification, I can make it to some other value. Let's say go for some other value for qualification. Okay, let me open this, and here maybe I can write something like, for qualification I can go for gray. Yeah, I think gray is fine. Okay, so yeah, in this way, this is the conditional formatting all about, where you get to choose what is the value for each one of them, and you can go for that value. As you can see, for stages, I've changed the value which was existing by default, by default. So that's what conditional formatting is all about. Okay, and here, of course, you can change all this, which is fine. And if you want for, let's say, something like, let's say, from industry also, you can change the color for industry as well. Okay, so that part is also possible. Fine. So here, now let me go to stage only. Okay, so this is how the stage will look like. Fine. And bar segment is stage, yeah, which is fine. Okay, and let's say I want to also do it for, let's say, industry as well, so I can go for industry. Okay, and for industry also I can choose the value. For example, let's say for agriculture, currently showing as blue. Okay, let's say show it as something like green maybe. Okay, yeah, that's it about this one. So now this is the way it's appearing. And Yeah, this is the way the color is appearing. Now, basically, wherever you shift to the last point in conditional formatting, that color will show up. So let me shift to stage. Okay, so stage, I have already done these things. It's all also telling me once again. Okay, so I think for conditional formatting, you can work for one of them only, as you can see over here. So for the stage, other things have disappeared. So very quickly, I will again go for close lost. Okay, I will quickly select that color. That's fine, not a big deal. Let me select red. Okay, and very quickly, I will also go for closed one, and let me select this as, let's say, something like green. Okay, so this is how these colors and all are appearing. And maybe for qualification, I can change this because the colors are appearing same. Just for qualification, I can change it to something like on the grayer side. Okay, okay, which is fine. And what I can do is I can save this lens as formatting option of stack column chart. Okay, formatting options of stack column chart, and I can save it in our recipe. Okay, it's fine. So this is how the whole thing appears, okay, for this one. And we have understood this part. So here, like, you can also search for properties. For example, let's say you want to search something like legend. Okay. So basically, it will show me all the properties. Okay, this is a searching bar of the formatting. So let's say if you want to search for particular things, so instead of going line by line, for example, you have to remember like what is the changes where you need to make. Okay, so basically, if you like just search for this thing, let's say conditional formatting of chart markers, you will just directly appear over here. Okay, so I can write something like conditional formatting, and as you can see, it's appearing over here. Okay, fine. So that's how it goes about. Fine, we can always cross check from here. So yeah, that is all the thing about this conditional formatting, which is there. Now, one thing to remember is if I open this once again, right? So if I open this once again, now this conditional formatting is only applicable for that particular lens for which you have done it. For example, it will not be applicable for the data set. Okay, for data set, we have different volume which we'll walk through. For example, right now, if I create one more time, okay, and let's say I'm replicating that same part again, which is I will select industry over here, and I will select the bar segment over here. I will select stage, of course. Okay. And as you can see here right now, the color is by default what was there earlier, that is, blue and red. So that means on the dataset level, this conditional formatting didn't get applied, but on the lens level, so whenever we are doing conditional formatting, it's applied on that particular lens or for that particular dashboard for which you are applying that changes. Okay, so that is something which is done by this. And maybe one last thing we can very quickly walk through is about the edit chart markers. Okay, so for example, last time also I showed you, but maybe I can just show you quickly once over here. So for example, here we have something like, if I type this one, so you, if required, you can like enable all these things, like you're showing the utilities proposition, I mean the industry name, all these things. Okay, and if you want, you can add a custom text as well. Fine, and you can write something like showing industry stage and count of those. Okay, I have written a simple text format. Now, what is the difference between this marker display open by default blink when closed? Okay, so we can just maybe walk through this one. So if I click on this formatting, as you can see, like here, basically this appears over here. Okay, so when you have this two example, okay, which is open by default. So this is opening by default over here, and blink when closed. This is the thing about opening by default. And maybe if I click on save one more time, oh yeah, maybe I can refresh this one. That's fine. So as you can see, that has disappeared, but basically open by default means like whenever it has been existing at that particular point of time, you can actually ensure, okay, I will choose this part once again. Let's say I choose something like agriculture, okay. Maybe I'm choosing something from agriculture, I'm showing that point. I have added that custom text. I'm not adding it one more time. That is fine. So blink when close, this results appear. You can change the background. For example, let's say I want the background as something like green. Okay, I want the border as something like, let's say, red. Okay, so I have just done this part, and now let's see. Okay, so as you can see, this is the border of red, and this is whole thing is appearing in green. Okay, now if I can just cancel from here, and if I click over here, it basically opens up. Okay, so it's existing by the time you are actually dealing with that particular lens at that point of view. So but yeah, after saving it, it's not appearing. Okay, so that's one part about this chart marker. So basically it existing during that particular moment only when you are actually analyzing a particular lens or a particular dashboard. The same thing which we are doing on lens will be applicable on the dashboard as well. So this is what I was edit chart markers, that basically in that particular situation it's like more of an in situ, where in that particular situation you are focusing on certain parts, and that is being displayed, okay, in that particular moment. Afterwards it disappears. So that's about this chart markers. And the same chart markers, so basically if you want to blink it when closed, so that part also you can do. So for example, as you can see here, it's blinking. Okay, so now if you click, it basically shows up. Okay, so otherwise it's more like a blinking. Okay, so there's certain things over here which we want to check. Okay? Again, if I just click on save, I think so it won't get saved if I refresh it, but which is fine. So that's all about this chart markers. I've shown you in the earlier video, but I am just showing you about how this background and border also something you compare. As you can see, when it's blinking, the border is red, and the background is blue where the particular thing is appearing. And this is all about custom text, which is fine. Okay, I have shown you this part. So yeah, that's about this chart properties. And basically, if we want, we can drill down to that group selection by choosing dimension. Okay, so that is something we can do it over here. We can walk through later on. But yeah, that's about it. And now if I click on save, and maybe if I refresh, I think that chart marker won't be there anymore. Oh, okay. So blink when closed, if you see, that is appearing. So now again, if I click on refresh, yeah, for that being line closed, okay, you see this is appearing actually over here. Okay, yeah, that's a good thing. Like in the chart marker, whenever it is blink when closed, so if you select that option and if you select, that particular thing will appear. But I guess when you select that particular thing about, so for example, let's do one more thing, maybe very quickly. I will go for apparel as well. Okay, so for apparel, I think everything is fine. Very quickly, I will choose it as blue. Okay, and maybe the border I can choose it as purple. Okay, so let that be as it is. And now I think I'm done with this one. Okay, so what I've done is here I've written as billing when closed. Now if I click on save, okay, and let's see if on refresh how it will appear. So for this chart marker, I have just selected open when closed. Okay, so now what I will do is very quickly I will click on this save button, and now let me just refresh. Okay, now as you can see, this is also appearing fine. Okay, that is very strange. It has appeared right now. So that means basically the chart markers also will be present in that complete lens or dashboard format. Okay, it's not that it's in that particular moment. As you can see, this is appearing. Yeah, if I close it, basically it will appear as dot. If I open it once again, it will appear as close. Okay. So yeah, it's work for both. So edit chart markers is something like if there's a particular focus which you want to do, you can easily do that. Fine. So that's the thing about this one. And yeah, that's it about this video. I hope you have understood this one, and maybe in our further sessions, maybe we can take two charts at one go, because we have covered most of the basic parts. So in any chart, you will see all these things, the general format. Okay, we will have a particular name for that particular chart. Based on that, what are the formats which we are available for that particular chart? You will have something called as y-axis, x-axis, the legend. This will be also common in every charts. You will have this tooltip. So basically y-axis, x-axis, legend, tooltip, trellis, chart markers, condition, all this will be common actually in all the types of chart. Okay, the difference will be of course in that particular chart name only. Okay, where we can check the options. So maybe in our further videos we can take two charts at a time. Okay, but yeah, that's it about this one. I hope you understood all things about the conditional formatting and how this chart markers works as well, which I have shown you over here. Okay, so yeah, that's it about this video. Let's meet very soon in our next one. Thank you.